My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Next tweet. Okay. Don't talk to me about Princess Anne. Seeing all these posts on my timeline, she has been a real workhorse for the royals and her mother, but she herself isn't innocent either. She constantly cheated on both her husbands. She is cruel and cold. She had an affair with Andrew Parker Bowles, allegedly. Okay, I've read that before, but let me put allegedly for my own sake because I don't know the truth. When they were both married, she then had an affair with her bodyguard Peter Cross. Servant will find them effing in the garden. Oh my god. Allegedly, okay. Oh my god. I don't know if that's the truth. Let me start from here. She had an affair with Andrew Parker Bowles when they both married. She then had an affair with her bodyguard Peter Cross. Servant will find them effing in the garden. And then she cheated with her now husband Timothy Lawrence. Her ex-husband Mark Phillips was cheating on her too and had a daughter with another woman. Anne has been very, very smart with using titles for her children. They got all the perks of being from the royal family without giving anything back. Her children don't actually work, yet they live freely in palaces during vacations, pay no rent, just make lucrative deals. Her son bankrupted two businesses. He studied sports science. Oh, did he? I didn't know. All right, so that's good. He studied sports science. He jumped from work to work through his mother's contacts. As for Zara, I have made a detailed post previously. Princess Anne at least is a tireless hard worker and a nonsense person, but she too failed to stood up to what was happening in her family. Well, I have to say something here. Her and if the article that I read is true, her and the younger brother, what's the other brother? Edward, I think, with the ardent production guy. Edward. Her and Edward spoke about what was happening regarding the Epstein thing. Some things that Charles was doing. Oh, okay. Charles had changed the Queen's secretary and put what was the guy's name? Edward Young. And Edward Young was so bad at the job. I think her, Anne, and what's his name? The brother, the younger brother, spoke against it. All right, said, you need to get Edward Young out of there. But Charles knew what he was doing because Edward was eyes and ears of Charles. Pretty much whatever Edward was doing, not Edward, whatever that new secretary that Charles put, what's his name? I just said his name a few moments ago. Edward Young, right? Edward Young was doing, it was pretty much whatever Charles wanted him to do. Okay? So which means Charles was doing a horrible job. Okay? So Anne and Edward, the brother, spoke against what Edward Young, the private secretary for the Queen, which Charles put in place along with, what's the other brother? Andrew, okay? Andrew and Charles put their head together to get rid of the former private secretary of the Queen to replace, and then they put Edward Young. Edward Young was horrible at it because he was doing exactly, in my humble opinion, what Charles wanted him to do, to be eyes and ears and keep the Queen in the dark. I've spoken about this many times. I passed 30 minutes with Charles and Andrew because, all right, well, let's be. Princess Anne at least is a tireless hard worker and a nonsense person, but she too failed to stood up to what was happening in her family with Charles and Andrew because obviously she wasn't that better in terms of ethics. Here is a picture of Princess Anne with her husband Mark and her bodyguard and lover Pt2. Again, these people, they're even now to criticize Princess Diana for trying to find happiness. They were all effing each other. Oh, is that what they're saying now? Are they talking about Diana now? Diana tried to save her marriage. That's why, I mean, they know. These people know. It's like common sense, anything that's logic or that shed light to anything, especially if it shed light to whatever they were doing, which is usually negative. They remove that part of their brain out and make you focus on the people who's doing logic thing. All right, let me put my screenshot of what I was just saying about Prince Edward and Princess Anne. All right, so this is what I wrote here. I have one minuscule correction with your take, pointing down here to the article. It's not big in comparison to how much more they, Anne and Edward, could have done to put a stop to the royal family's self-sabotage. But at least if this headline, this one here that I put here, is true, they raised their voices, Anne and Edward. Other than that, I agree with your take. All right, so that's that. I had 2 more characters left. So that's that. No, Princess Anne did not sleep with Andrew Parker Bowles while he was married or when she was married. Anne married Timothy Lawrence in 1992 and they remained together. No credible reports suggest, I mean, you're not gonna hear all the details of things like that were done in secrecy. But I don't know if it's true or not, okay? No credible reports suggest she has been unfaithful during this marriage. Her kids do not live in palaces. All right. Castles, okay? There's all of this. You could pause and read. Next one. You could pause and read. You could pause and read. All right. All right. I shared this in another thread. A typical Windsor country house weekend. All right. After this, that said, these two. Were they identical twins or is this a fake pic? But that is how the royal maintain their dignities for the whole country, just like their king and future king. That damn Harry, only loyal to his one and only person of color wife. That was kind of funny. Yeah, they wanted Harry to be sleeping around. And probably the other royal men probably wanted to have a taste of Meghan. And that was one thing I said a long time ago, especially once I saw that particular image. The moment that I was looking for that picture, look at the screen, a very long time, and I couldn't find it. And the moment that I saw it, I was like, there it is, and I saved it. The first time I came across that picture, the very single thing that came in my mind, I was like, the brother probably tried something with Meghan, okay? That's my opinion. I was like, the brother must have tried something to Meghan. And Meghan probably put him in his place. It's some old videos. And then later on, we came across Don't Put Your Finger in My Face. And I saw in Harry's book, I read in Harry's book where he went to meet Harry when Meghan wasn't there. Push Harry on the dog bowl, and there were so many other small little things. And I think he had tried to do something to Meghan. What I thought happened, okay, this is full-blown allegedly, because the moment that I saw that picture, that's what came to mind. And I was like, they probably sent Harry to do some engagement far away, I don't know, travel somewhere where Harry would not be in the house at a certain time. And then once Harry was gone, the brother probably went and tried something to Meghan. And then Meghan put him in his place. And then when Harry came back, Meghan probably mentioned it to Harry. That was the idea that I had. I don't know if it's true, okay? The way he looked at Meghan in that picture, it clicked in my mind. Bang! I was like, he probably tried something. And then, all the other incidents, don't put your finger in my face, the dog bowl, and all of that. All right, so this is the next tweet. You don't get this level of noise unless you're shaking something up. James O'Brien just said what many want. The backlash against Harry and Meghan is envy disguised as outrage simply because they're better. Watch full video on my channel. All right, so I think this is all, but I thought it was new. Let's see. It's 1 minute and 22 seconds.
Question. It's just envy, isn't it? The whole point of the attacks upon Prince Harry and his wife, whether they're coming from within the palace, on the record, off the record, nowhere near the record, or whether it's coming from Fleet Street, is because they're simply better at everything. They're better at PR, they're more media savvy, they're more articulate, they're more empathetic, crucially they're more accomplished. Look at their careers, compare their careers. They're more accomplished and they're more attractive. So here is the real sin of Harry Windsor. And this only occurred to me last night. It's box fresh. I'm going to throw open the phone lines and you can kick it to pieces if you want on 0345 6060973. But the real reason for the hatred, the viciousness, and this astonishing level of abuse is because they make a complete mockery of royalty itself. The idea that he gets the top job and he sits in the sidecar for the rest of his life is absolutely absurd. But we can never ever admit that because it shakes the very foundations of the royal family. So, do you think that the real reason why Prince Harry and his wife have been turned into public enemies numbers 1 and 2 in this country is because...
Okay, I think this is all. I've heard that before. Okay, Kate hugging, there's your answer. The firm or terrible of Harry and Meghan's natural charm, sincere love for each other, and the empathy they exclude. Envy or your missing point? Let all royal family and kings stand on their own feet. We want democratic government, not ruled by privilege. Someone falling out of right womb. British people don't want Islamic law forced on them. I mean, who said they is okay? I'm not in the UK, so I don't know the talking point. The work compared to William and Kate, he's not lying. The only envy I see is the royal haters using Harry and Meghan. So true. James, spot on James. Okay, let's go to my last one. And then the next video, it might be for tomorrow. It has to do a little bit of politics. I may not even cover it. Okay, Harry, leave Meghan and find yourself an English rose. There's the laughing, the crying here. What are they trying to say here? William Atkinson. My latest, in which I launched the Spectator campaign to save the Duke of Sussex. If we can fix Prince Harry, we can fix Britain. I mean, these people... What do they think Harry is? What gives them the authority that there's something wrong with Harry? What is the baseline that constitutes these people the authority to think of someone else is wrong? What the hell is wrong with these people? Right? Returning to Britain will require the prince to eat a considerable slice of humble pie. He have to apologize. Oh my God. He have to apologize to his father and brother for the pain he has put them. Okay. First of all, they need, okay, if Harry has to apologize, they need to specify what Harry is gonna apologize for. What did Harry do that Harry needs to apologize for? They need to list all of the things that Harry did that was against whatever that Harry needs to apologize for. Oh my God. Through following his grandmother's death, father's illness, and sister-in-law's cancer treatment, but the prodigal son will be embraced by the nation. Oh, please. Harry is a human being. They've done so many things to him. He tried to avoid them many, many times over. Even when they were trying to map out which place he's gonna move to. I think the very first one was South Africa. They licked it. Now it become a problem. And then he said some other place, I think Australia, they leaked it. And then finally, when they kept it quiet, they went to Canada. And they still leaked it. I mean, I guess it's God who was working his magic for him because Canada is right next to the United States. And then the moment they find out where he was living in Canada, remember they went to that island, they were trying to pay the locals to take them to that island, and they said no. And kudos to Canada as well, to Canadians. And then eventually they had to rush back right next door to the United States. So eventually they ended up there, and they were able to have a breather with Tyler Perry, and they had a breather in Tyler Perry's home. Give them that time to I was gonna say rebrand. No, rejuvenate. There's another term. Refresh. And I think it was during that time they probably Meghan wrote the book The Bench. give them time and make a lot of money to start somewhere. But these people won't leave them alone. And Harry I think they had to sue because they were taking pictures of the backyard. And I think that's the part where Meghan mentioned in the Oprah interview, part of it. And they did that in the UK as well. But whatever. It's like Harry and Meghan cannot defend themselves. They should just stand there and take all the sort of abuse, verbal, and probably, I don't even want to go there. The traditional Windsor-era correction route, a divorce is available. Oh my God. Harry left the Duchess of Sussex an ocean away from a country she will never visit, put the kids in a decent public school, find yourself a new slurring of English rules, and come home. Oh my God. These people are crazy. This is not normal. You're telling a happy marriage, okay, a couple who's happy to be together, and then you want to separate them. This is insane. This is insane. Okay, there's that. Why do they hate Meghan? She took out Prince Harry should have married an English rose. What was that other video I was just showing? I think I'm gonna do 2 parts to this video, to this recording, where that lady was talking about where Harry was talking in terms of finding someone. There was a process when he wore that white shirt.
I'd never met him before. And so we had a little chat about the kind of things we talk about. And he was like, you can ask me whatever you want, but I might not answer it. I said to him, have you ever thought about moving away? And he was like, yeah, I'd love to move away, but I can't because of what I need to do to support the Queen. And that has just stuck with me forever in terms of, he didn't say it on camera, he just said it in a really candid chat with me. And so whenever anyone says to me, it was Meghan's fault that they left, that conversation always springs to mind because he always had it in him, this potential to jump. And I think Meghan came along and said, hold my hand and we'll jump together. Princess Charlotte's just been born. Would you like to have kids? And he came out with this brilliant line.
Comes times when you think, right, now's the time to settle down, or now's not, whatever the way it is. But I don't think you can force these things. It'll happen when it's going to happen. Of course, I'd love to have kids right now, but yeah, there's a process that one has to go through.
To which his communications team kind of took a bit of an intake of breath, like, oh my goodness, why did he say that? But then he also went on to say about how he just wanted to have someone alongside him to support him. And then what was it? A couple of years later, he met Meghan.
Yeah.
There's Meghan here. They kick him out. They kicked them out. Oh my God, this is what she used to be. I mean, I'm not talking about whatever she's wearing in terms of her, because now Kelly, I'm talking about Kelly down there, the last image. She's looking more like the mother. Is that the same one? Is that her, or is that the mother? Okay, that's the images. I don't know. Okay, English was the rest of his friends. Harry made these remarks in a 2014 interview. He explained that royal life complicates encounters, claiming that they are locked in their glass tower, which makes it hard to meet new friends. Her friends use the same little friendship. Okay, I can't even see it. Okay, let me see if I can make it. Prince Harry's comment from a 2014 interview in which he reflects on the challenges of dating as a senior member of the royal family. He explained that members of the royal family often feel isolated, describing them as being locked in their glass towers. This metaphor refers to the intense surveillance, security constraint, and limited freedom that makes it difficult to form a normal relationship. But I'm thinking of Andrew, who they allowed, those Epstein women to come in the palace. He also noted that it was difficult to find a girlfriend, partly because of the media attention and partly because his social circle was small and repetitive. According to Harry, friends in his circle often use the same girlfriends, meaning that the number of encounters within aristocratic and high-level society groups was limited. Yeah, they're using each other. Yeah, I see what he's saying. They put themselves high up there in social class, and then they don't want others to come in their social circle, and they ended up locking themselves in a box. That's pretty much it. Alright, I'll try. Okay, I'll try to take a screenshot of it. It's hard to see it if I don't put the mouse hover over it. Alright, when I click on it, okay, you can even see it. She probably took it as a was it not PDF? What was that? I can PND or something like that. English was aka white and English only. How's that going for William? His English was has already withered, or shall I say, he is after a certain woes. What a loser. So basically he's saying a white woman will solve all his issues with Harry. I don't see the remaining white women there fixing the current situation with the monarchy. That is true. They really want to force the entire burden of their shortcomings and meaningness on Meghan. I doubt a real English rose will want Harry. He wed Venus flytrap. What is it? He wed Venus flytrap. What does that mean? What's left over will need clean earth, a separate spot, and regrow if that's possible. If Harry had married someone else, I think that marriage would have been over already. Public school, basically saying those kids are not up their standard problem because they ain't white and English was easily discarded. The racism is that paragraph. They will rather have an unhappy Harry with a pathetic marriage to a woman who can easily then over. Yeah. If Britain needs to be fixed, why don't they look to the current and future kings? Isn't that part of their job? They are literally begging him. Yeah, alright, so there's the rest. That's it. I need to stop. So this recording will have 2 parts because right now it's 51 minutes recording, so it's too long. The first part, I might put it on our part of Pew Service, I think, or PYTE, because it has to do with Harry going to Kiev, Ukraine. Alright, so that's that. Please, this is one of my channels. If you are new, this is one of the channel that I have. I don't post too much in it because YouTube refused to monetize it. This is where I post all my I try to, but lately I haven't posted. It's been 55 days since I post my last video there. Okay, the Sussexes Jordan visit video only. Okay, so I have this. YouTube refused to monetize it. Everything that I put, they keep on blocking it. And I have this channel, PYTE. I've been posting there lately. The last time I posted was 3 days ago. Alright, that's PYTE. It's monetized. They've tried to demonetize it. They have demonetized it before, but I fight it and fix some stuff, and then they put it back on the monetization program. And also this channel, which is where I put more of my videos lately that has to do with politics, somewhat of the negative topics. Alright, so I have that. So if you want, follow all of them. And new subscribers, welcome. I need to create a thumbnails for this. So that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. And I also have a shop. Lately, I've been putting some merch in there. I see some of you have been looking into it. Let's see here. Okay, so I went on the website. There it is here. You could go and check some of the products that I have with different design. You know, so these are other ways you could help support my channel. Okay, so that is it. Thank you for watching.
Banaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.